Superannuation.
Superannuation.
Superannuation. Hang on, don't tune out. The government's proposing a massive change which will impact every one of us. The Treasurer wants us to leave our super for our future. Today, vowing to
end the super wars once and for all.
That includes tightening the rules around dipping into super before retirement.
The objective of superannuation is to preserve savings and deliver income for a dignified retirement alongside government support in an equitable and sustainable way.
The last time that they accessed it, people just squandered it.
They probably will end up wasting it before they even get around to retirement.
Who's going to support you when you blow your super?
Generally, we don't think about it until it's too late.
The previous government loosened the rules when we were staring down an economic abyss at the start of the pandemic. It saw 3 million Aussies withdraw $36.4 billion as part of the emergency policy.
Without consultation and little consideration, Australians were forced to choose between better incomes in retirement or paying their bills.
What we wanted to do is give people more access to their own money. And I think that's what people want.
And the opposition reckons Aussies should continue to be able to use their own super savings to build a better life now.
So, if you need it to be able to buy your first home, then you should be able to access your super.
Yeah, you paid for it, so why shouldn't you be able to access it, especially during tough times?
There's some times in your life that you just need access to money.
Currently, we can access super early on compassionate grounds. If you're experiencing severe financial hardship, temporary or permanent incapacity, or diagnosed with a terminal medical condition. So, should you have early access to your own super, or will future you thank the Treasurer later?
Work hard now and then retire early, and hopefully there's enough in my super to keep me going.
For her expert thoughts, we're catching up with Economist Nicki Hutley, who has spent the day in meetings with the Treasurer. Nicki, you've heard the opposition's argument there. Basically, it's your money. You should be able to do what you want with it. What do you make of the argument?
Well, the trouble, Walid, is that when it comes to retirement and you have nothing left in the tank because you've been out spending it during your life and not saving it, then it suddenly becomes the government's problem. So it's not a non-binary question. Somebody has to pay for our retirement, and it's up to us to do as much as we can early on. We get the benefit of interest, and then worry about it. You know, if you don't get enough because you're low income, then the government can step in at the end. But it shouldn't be all the government, because that means everybody else in the future is going to have to pay more tax to pay for your retirement.
Nicki, this could be one way to help young people get into the housing market. I've got a lot of friends that are struggling to save for a deposit, so why shouldn't they be able to use their own super?
I don't understand why there's non-binary as you can have super or you can save for a house. Why can't you actually do both? You know, we actually as Australians are very bad at saving. In many other countries, you pay at least double what we're paying into your super account. So, you know, some countries up to 25%, 30%. So we're not actually being asked to save a huge amount, 10%. And superannuation is not there to solve the housing affordability crisis. We need other policies to address that issue.
But there is a housing affordability crisis, and I imagine there'll be people saying, well, this is the only option I have and you won't let me access it. Like, why would it be a bad idea for them to do that, especially if they're buying a house which will grow in value anyway?
Well, they're not. It's not. Super isn't enough for most people to get that nest egg. It takes you about 10 years to get 50 grand, 60 grand in your account on an average income. So by the time you're 30, you probably don't have enough for a deposit in Sydney anyway. You're then taking away your future savings. You're adding more to the demand for housing without actually doing anything about the supply of housing. And that is the thing about the housing affordability crisis. The more policies we put in place to allow people to try and buy houses without addressing the supply side, we're just actually making the problem worse. Now, I know it sounds tough, but that's the reality of the situation.
Nicki, forgive me for being cynical. I suspect this is a lot less about early access to your super than about the tax concessions super has. And Jim Chalmers is going to just soften us up, and the government's going to come after some of those tax concessions.
I think you're 100% right. You know, they're looking for every possible way they can to save on money. We know they've got a massive structural deficit that's just going to get bigger and bigger over time if we don't do changes to the tax system. There are a lot of concessions, particularly for wealthy Australians who probably don't need those concessions to be saving and fund their own retirement. So we absolutely need to look at those and what we can afford and what's needed.
Nicki, thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.